Okay, we'll finish up Chapter 8 by doing some problems out of the back of the book. And we'll start with problem number 35, which starts at the bottom of page 396 and continues on to 397. And so what it does is it says Ecru Company has identified 5 industry segments: plastics, metals, lumber, paper, and finance. And then it produces a information describing each segment as follows. And it gives you sales to outside parties, inter-segment transfers, interest income from outside parties, interest income from inter-segment loans, operating expenses, interest expenses, tangible and intangible assets, and then inter-segment loans as a debit, which is only in the finance department. So we have 5 segments. Let me widen this up a little bit. We have plastics, metals, lumber, paper, and finance. So we'll start with revenues. So plastics has $6,694,000 in outside plus 148, and that's their total. Metals has 2,354,000, 173 to intersegment plus 34 in outside party interest. Lumber 711 plus 138 plus 21. Paper 422 plus 150. And then finance, start over again, 422 plus 150. And then finance has 201, 42 for outside plus 201 internally. All right, the sum of all that is 11,088,000. 10% of that is 1109. So the plastics and metal both exceed that. Then we go to expenses. And in the interest of time, I'm just going to write the totals down. So 4290, 1793, 1132, 682, and 133. So that is a profit for 4 out of the 5 segments. So both the lumber and paper generated a loss. So totaling those, once again, The larger of the two column is the profit. So 342 is the threshold. And there are two that exceed the threshold, and that once again is plastics and metals. And then lastly, assets. So this is the total of the tangible and intangible as well as the intersegment loan for finance. So the totals for that are 1588, 3599, 524, 834, and then 885. Oops. What am I doing here? Here we go. Total of that is, where do I go? This is 1588. 7,430,000. 10% of that is 743. So plastics and metals are now qualified, but now both lumber, paper, and finance. So we had 5 reportable segments, 4 reportable segments out of the 5 segments. The only one that didn't meet any one of the 10% test is lumber. Now, if we just do external sales, we would get 6694, 2388, 731, 422, and 42. That's a total of 10,020,272. Now, out of the ones that are reportable, we have 9, which is 93%. So we're meeting the 75% test. Because that's just doing the external sales, both interest and sales to outside parties for each of the 3 segments, each of the 5 segments, and then totaling that up and getting a total for what we have reported. So we've reported 93% of the consolidated total revenue. All right? Okay. Let's do another problem. This one is problem number 37, which starts on the top of page 397 and continues on 398. So this one is Madison Company. They have determined 5 operating segments. They have books, computers, maps, travel, and finance. And then the same information that was provided in the last problem is now also provided here. So this segments, we have books, computers, maps, travel, and finance. So total revenues, 205, 936, 455, 432, and 184. 10% of that is 221. So we have these 3 are Total expenses, $218, $899, $400, $284, and $132. Only one has a loss. So the profit column is higher once again, and now 29 is our threshold, and all of the profitable segments are in fact reportable. And then lastly, we have 206, 1378, 248, 326, and 1240. $340 is the threshold, and that is just computers and finance. The sales to outside customers are $696 for computers, $416, $314, and $37. Books has sales to outside customers of $121 in sales to outside customers and $60 internally. That is a total of $1,524. One second. Books. Oops, I'm sorry. Read the wrong one. Books had outside sales of 121 plus 60. There we go. All right, so these are all reportable. Which amounts to 89% of the total. So once again, we have exceeded the 75% threshold, and we're good to go. All right, so there's a couple of problems out of the back of Chapter 8 in order to give you some insight on that.